Welcome to yet another episode of NTV Seeds of Gold. Last week on the show, we profiled a rather interesting farmer that has a unique take on farming at Chatham Farms with a farm banking module. We are still here as the Chatham Farm team gives us a run for our money with their farm banking module. It is a rather amazing experience. We get to see a clean, odorless pig pen, and we were sure to disinfect before entry. I mean, we are dealing with serious gold here. We cannot be getting it sick.
So I guess there's no smell at all in here.
Oh no. How do you keep it so clean?
Yeah, we use the IMO system. That's indigenous microorganisms that we use for picking up. It eats up the pig waste. Yeah, so we put this sawdust, mix it with soil, with salt rather. We mix it along with lime for disinfecting, and then we put it in here, we put the pig. So every urine, every poop that goes down, we then come and spray the indigenous microorganism liquid. Yeah, and once we spray, we turn. Immediately it turns. Within 30 minutes there will be no waste.
That's utterly impressive.
So this is our F3 pig. This is the male. This is our boar, and it does a good job. So it's close to a pure.
Yes.
Yeah, the F2 level, and it has followed all these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
the following element is when a gilt goes on heat, we put it in, then get it out.
Yes.
After the first mating, after 3 hours, we put it back because then it has built up the sperm build after 3 hours. So in a day, you can only follow, or you can only cross one gilt.
One.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is how, if you want effective production. But some people bring 2, 3. You can easily get less piglets because of being in a hurry.
In a hurry, yes.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes have more than one client at a time?
Yes, we have 16 gilts in here.
Yes.
Yeah, and 10 of them are for clients. So we just have in Kampala alone, we have 10 clients.
Yes.
Just in this
In
plot
here.
alone,
Yeah.
you get. And Busia we have another piggery and goat. Actually for it is on 12.6, that's at my home area. 12.6 acres. We have another batch that side. You know, then of course where is the goats. So we have multiple clients.
At the same time?
Yes.
How do you keep track of which one is whose?
Oh,
Are those the tags we
we
see?
have all them tagged.
Yes.
That's number one, they are all tagged. This is an F3, pure, this is a pure pig.
Yes.
This one that you see, if you look at it, it's a little different from this.
Yes.
It's a pure Muzungu. Now we tag them, and then we have an automated recording system. Actually, when it comes to issues to do with the goats, we even have a goat app, you know, goat app, where we give you a code, a number, as Sheila, and you immediately you put it in your phone app. It gives you every information about your animal. What we've not uploaded are the images. That is something that we are going to consider. We tag them, and that tag number is also reflected on your agreement.
Yes.
And then it is within our automated system that knows this is Rosemary's gilt. It was furrowed on this date, is this age. These are the multivitamins we've given it. These are the dewormers. Next deworming is at this point. You know, all those kind of information is within
Yes.
that database.
That's
So
impressive.
if you want, we send it on your phone as an app. If you don't need, we can send to your email. It's all The choice is
The watering hole.
Yeah.
It's motion sensor.
no. We have it's a drinking nipple system.
Yes.
Where the pig itself, a pig is a very, very clever animal.
Yes.
It knows how to take water. So it presses on the nipple and the water comes
The
out.
water comes out.
Yeah. So it's not automated as such. The water just runs, but the pig presses the nipple and the water
It
comes through.
out, yes.
Yeah. So we only supply the food. The pigs feed themselves the water.
Water.
And they know how much water to take.
How often do they feed?
Well, they feed twice a day, 8 and 4 p.m. If they had not fed, there would be a lot of noise here. But they are happy with our being here. But otherwise, they are fed. Would not be able to talk and hear each other here if they had not fed. So you come in here around 3:30, they will make that noise, knowing you have brought in more food.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the IMO system. That's why you don't smell stuff, you don't see flies coming on you. It's all through. Yeah.
So you mentioned the pure gilts. What do you have other different breeds in here?
Yeah.
Yes.
We have the Canberra. That is our major concentration. Our concentration is on the Canberra and the large white.
Yeah.
Because one, the Canberra is good for meat, but they're also good mothers.
Yeah.
Same thing as a large white, they are good mothers. What happens is when they farrow, they make sure that they grow their little ones to weaning, which is different from other breeds.
I see.
Yeah. And they also pick up the muscle. The muscle is quick, and they also respond to our weight gain. What happens is, if you look at my finger, our feeding formula that we give the pig, which is our niche that I may not share, is at the end of the day, when you cut our pig, the fat is half an inch. The fat is half an inch, and the rest is meat. So you get value for money.
Yes.
Even you as a buyer, as a client, you don't buy fat that gets wasted in the saucepan. You actually get the meat through. But even as an investor, if you're a gilt banker with us, when we go to the abattoir, you get more weight. Have you ever known the psychology? It's very interesting, but the psychology of pork is there's not much weight that the pork, the fat adds. Yes, it's more or less a wastage. That's why some people go for special meat and that kind of thing. So for us, we feed these pigs in such a way that the weight gain gives you not less than 30 kilograms net weight in a period of 5 to 6 months from farrowing or from weaning or from being, even from the time that they are given birth to those piglets. So when you go to the market, you gain from the kilos. For instance, we are passing out 200 piglets. All these pigs in here are farrowed. They are already farrowed, and we are waiting for them to give birth within certain pigs. And by the way, pigs give birth in a very interesting formula that God gave them. 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. On the 3rd hour, it will give birth. So if you note the hour, it will give birth. And once they have farrowed, we get the piglets to breastfeed. Normally we give them iron, we clip their teeth, we give them a multivitamin a little later, not immediately, and we leave them to breastfeed. Now once they have been weaned, we take them over to the weaner section. We have a weaner section on the northern side of the farm, of this very urban farm, and we run them for a period of 3 months. Then we take them to the grower section. Now in the grower section is when now we move them for a period of one month, 1.5, 2 months, and then we take them to fattener. Now in fattener is also called finisher, because that's where now we give them a feeding formula that eventually takes them to the market for slaughter. Yeah, so farmers who come, or abattoir people who come, don't come this side. they come the other end, you know, so the vehicles park. And let me tell you one thing that is very, very clear that I will tell Seeds of Gold. With the feeding formula we have and the kind of quality of pigs we have, there is value for money.
Yeah.
Value for money for the investor, value for money for the consumer. And if that could be adopted in this day and urban age as we are here, Uganda would go very far.
So you had said that they have all fired.
Yes.
How much are we looking at when we hit the markets with the pigs?
We expect 200 piglets to come through here.
Yes.
And we expect to grow 200 piglets to the market. Now, I'll give an example just to do a quick math. If you look at, say, 100 piglets maybe have been selected for slaughter, at 30 kilograms each, you are looking at 3,000 kilos. Yeah? Now, 3,000 kilos multiplied by, say, 9,000, if the market is really low at that point, if the maize and the ingredients, like my colleague mentioned earlier, are low, or 10,000, if the maize and the ingredients are high, you are looking at 30 million.
Sweet.
Yeah. So the guarantee we can give you from piggery is when you invest as a gilt banker or when you run your own farm, you will not earn less than 30 or 40% as a return on investment, profit. That is something we've tested. We've been in this for quite some time and it really works. And so with farming, it's reality. Either the pig is there, the weight is there, or it's not there. It's not speculation.
Now we get to go and see the winnings.
We have a total of the piglet section, which is at the end. Like I told you, we win them and put the piglet section and then put the winners, and from here we fatten them for purposes of being able to take them for slaughter and to the market. And now here, just from 2 gilts, 2 mothers, we have 20 of them that are being grown for purposes of the market. Even when we are growing them here, you see a pig at 3 months starts attempting to mate. So we castrate the males and they run ordinarily like any other pig.
Wait, what would cause the deaths with the inbreeding?
One, the immunity becomes so low. You know, pigs are born with very low immunity. But when you do inbreeding, even if you give them multivitamin or things to see that to increase their immunity, it will not catch up much, because just like God created an animal, it's just a human being. Incest is unacceptable. And so they will be weak, sickly, and there's nothing much you can do with that, even if you medicated them at a very high rate.
That's the gold in the seed when it comes to the gilts. Now let's go and take a look at the goats.
One, we keep them on a raised platform so that all the waste goes down. We clean over that. We vaccinate them on time. We treat them, we deworm them.
As mentioned previously on the show, Chatham Farms is located in 4 areas. Busia, where the mother farm is, here in Gayaza, where the model farm is, Chichusa Luwero, where the food hub is, and Chichusa Kankole, the newest on the list, bigger and readily housing the goat banking module. So the team was not about to leave without visiting the mighty place and home of the goats, as some of them were recently relocated from Busia to this bigger space.
So it's the goats now. James, please, do take us through.
Yes, thank you very much. Over here we have a mixture of Savannah and Boer goats. These are nannies, and we have a bit of 4 or 5 local Mubende goats. The purpose of us rearing such goats is they grow fast, they pick up weight so fast, and they are easier to manage. These goats are on a semi-intensive kind of rearing system. By semi-intensive, I mean we do silage, we feed them in the exercising yard, as well as taking them out to graze. We don't do a free range because we're on 13.5 acres here, but it is still not enough for the number we have. Because these are over 100 goats that we have over here, and they have to go out grazing. So this is what I mentioned a little earlier, that you come over, pick a goat of your choice, pay through, and we ensure that we rear it for you for a period of 15 months, which is the farming period. And after that, we give you a goat that you paid for. That means the nanny and 2 kids. So that is the goat banking goat banking module that we have designed. Then the rest of the goats are basically company. Now, one thing that I have to be very clear is when you pay for a goat, it's 100% insured. The investor does not lose. Yeah. So in here, we are in the goat pen with a winner's pen at the end, where we put winner males, because we don't want them to begin doing the inbreeding, mating with either mothers or sisters. So we keep them in there. We have the kids pen at the end, and just over here is where we keep the males, because we do what we call natural synchronization, where in natural synchronization we get a time, like now it's a rainy season, we mate these goats, and then they able to give birth to during the dry season, because during the dry season we have less diseases than in the wet season. So that is the synchronization. So we started with 10 goats. Yeah, we started with 10 goats, exotic, and about 10 local goats. By the time we started, we didn't know what to do, so we bought the East African and we bred them. Today we have over 200 goats, just between 2020, early 2019, beginning 2020 into 2022. One, we keep them on a raised platform so that all the waste goes down. We clean over that. We vaccinate them on time. We treat them, we deworm them. Like now we deworm almost every 2 weeks because it's a rainy season. And once you do the basic practices, nothing can fail you to grow this project. So you have to start with what you have.
So I see the tags are color coordinated. Does that have to do with the different clients?
No.
Okay.
I would say no and yes. No is the tags do 2 things. The percentage of blood. All these goats have documentation, or they have information on them. When you come to book a goat, or when we get a goat onto the farm, we document its history and also document what we do on it on the farm.
We are looking at over 100 goats. And today on the Expert Opinion, we talk to Dr. Murungi Victor Roy, a vet surgeon at Bukola Chemical Industries, who will give us more insight on what medicines farmers should consider to effectively get exceptional results in goats and gilt.
The Chatham farm, to just go back to our previous episode, is not really a new concept. It's a concept that has been around, although Mr. James has tried to, expand it in the sense that a lot other people can benefit from farming, but without necessarily having to have their hands dirty. When you look at this concept, because they do not get animals from various other farms, but rather breed their own animals, you will find that disease outbreaks might not be that many. However, that does not mean that we do not have diseases at such farms. And more often than not, I ask my clients to stock up just a few drugs. In this case, I look at dewormers, like the oral drenches, which is like albendazole. I also ask them to stock some bit of antibiotics for cases of like wounds, for cases of a fever. We have oxytetracyclines, we've got penicillins, we've got sulfur drugs. So more often than not, yes, we tell our farmers, you can have a few drugs. If you have a trained veterinary professional, allow them handle these drugs, because as we know, humans and animals tend to share some of these molecules. So we want that veterinary professionals are the ones that are handling these drugs. Now, most of these drugs are broad spectrum. What do I mean? Broad spectrum, one, means they target so many diseases. Two, they target so many animal species. You find that this penicillin can be used in pigs, this penicillin can be used in cows, this same penicillin can be used in goats, but at definitely different dosage rates. That's why I'm saying allow a veterinary professional, a veterinary paraprofessional to be able to be the one to handle these drugs. When you look at the farm, it's a small farm enclosed, so you're going to have a lot of worm reinfestation. What do I mean by worm reinfestation? Yes, we deworm, but some of these dewormers do not actually kill the worms, but eliminate or stop the multiplication of this worm, but do not kill the worms or the eggs for that matter. So I would recommend at least we have a dewormer on the farm. I recommend we deworm at least every 2 months. I would also recommend that we have some antibiotics like oxytetracycline. In the event the animal shows some signs of illness, sometimes we recommend that you administer some oxytetracycline or penicillin. More often than not, you'll find that these are the most commonly used drugs. They are not that lethal. They are lethal, but they are not that lethal. So these are drugs that someone can handle at least at certificate level. Because you're moving the animals from one environment to another environment, usually there's procedure to that. You've got to screen these animals with the help of the area veterinary officer. Then when they screen these animals, in case we find any diseases, we advise that you treat these diseases before you move these animals, because when you move sick animals, then you're posing a very, very big threat to the new environment where they're going, not just to your farm, but to even the other farmers around. So we recommend that you get in touch with the area veterinarian. In that main case, you need a movement permit. So have a proper movement permit, have the animals screened, and if we feel, or if the veterinarian for that matter feels that the animals are in good shape to move, then it is very, very okay to move them. I'm so happy with the model James has brought about. So many of us love farming. Personally, I do love farming, but maybe we don't have where to do this kind of farming from. And I also liked the breeds that they have of both goats and the gilts for that matter. I think it's a way, it's an investment. Most of us have money, we're looking for where to invest this money, but we don't know where to. So such a model can help us, hold our money, and it's a very, very good investment. I'm so happy with Mr. James. I hope we can have so many other people taking on this farming model and helping so many Ugandans, and also providing a lot more protein. We love proteins, you love proteins. So yes, we would love to see this kind of arrangement go on. Finally, don't forget to visit Bukola Veterinary Pharmacy for all your veterinary products. We have antibiotics in form of penicillin, in form of oxytetracycline. We have your dewormers in form of albendazoles. We have ivermectin. We have caricides. We have supplements. So we'll be waiting for you. Cheers.
Well, that's our show for today. Thank you for being with us. Don't forget to keep the comments coming in. #NTV Seeds of Gold. See you next week.
Next week on the show, we will be looking at another Seeds of Gold success story. Mr. Ham Ahimbisibwe, a grape farmer from Nyakayojo, Mbarara. It has not been the same since we last profiled him on this very show. Till then, Thank you for watching.